I had a thought in my head. Now, what's this? What did I write down? Okay, yes. I had a thought in my head. 1991. To begin with, for commencer, I am absolutely not prepared. When my mind is open, even though I can make the connections or find something new, I am absolutely not, never, really, ever prepared. 1991. Start with that in a minute. I have a coffee, actually just hot water. Is it very important the words we speak? Absolutely so. And I'm very excited because we are really aligned. Although I feel like I'm really on the outside, everything is aligning. Almost like I'm a guide, right? And nobody knows I'm guiding them. None of the animals know I'm guiding them. That Gary 33, GG 33, Christmas power to the E-world is now going to be start doing, instead of just numerology with the zodiac, with your day of birth, what's your day of birth, what's your day of birth, what's your year of birth. Should we say it's 19 something, 18 something, 17 something? Have you ever said 1900 and whatever year, the year 2000? So each and every way that you're going to say this word, each and every one of these ways is going to be an equation in that dimension for that particular reality that you're fitting in. You fit in all your numbers in that reality, or you fit in all your numbers of this reality. No letter will be higher than 7. So if no letter be higher than 7, then reverse alphabet, no letter will be higher than 8. In our alphabet, no letter shall be higher than 9, but 9 in a straight line is 9 numbers, but in a square, it's 1 inside of 8, making it the bullseye, making that it's whole. There's a whole, there's 9 numbers. But then there's odds and evens. And then Rubik's Cube tells me that 4 of them are in the corners, but it tells me it's connected to 3 others. So does that mean my corners are now multiplied by 3? Let me get this water in the kitchen. So why is Christmas power GG77? But it's not only GG, it's JJ and GG. It's JGGJ. 10 and 7, 17 Z-sets. Part of the Mars Blue Boy World concept. Where do I get all this information from? Blue is usually cold. Cold is number 34. Blue for cold is boy, and it's connected to Democrat, the blue Democrat, the blue demolition. Blue is connected to ice. 9, 3 and 5, 17. 17 connected to Mars. The numeric value for Mars is 51. 3 by 17 is 51. It's also equal to 33. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. ABC, 2 and 1 equals to 3. Let me just write that out. We had number also 17, and I said times 3 equals to 51. But when you add it up over each other, right, it becomes 25, Earth. 17 over 17. And then it becomes, the third part about 17 is when you multiply 17 times 3. 3 by 7 is 21. There's 21 dots in the cube. We play blackjack for 21. The chicken lays 18 eggs. Okay? The chicken lays 18 eggs, right? In 21 days. Chicken lays 6 days and doesn't lay on the 7th day as the touchdown and the extra point. That when you hold this cube upward like this, where you see the 4 above, okay, you will have a total of 17. To where you see the 3 below, you will have a total of 18. 17 and 18. Mars and the sun, base value for Mars is 17. Is there a number lower than that? 8.5. 85 is matrix. 85 is 3 for third for bronze. Bronze numeric value is 80. 80 is reduced from star system math to 88. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8 equals 16, and 64 equals to 80. 8 plus 0 equals to 8. Also, that 8, help me out, also that 88 equaling to 80 is 8 and 8 equals to, like I said, 16 and 64. 1 and 6 equals to 7. 6 and 4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. One of the reasons I separate this one, 17, 18, 19, is because of what the French say. I like to use the French and the English, and I'll jump off to other languages to see how they can help me balance how the word is said, right? Like 17 in French is 17. And it's ironic that 15 in Hebrew, okay, 15 in Hebrew is Tet Vav, which is 9-6, okay? Let me do this again. Let's see if I got this right. "15" in Hebrew, I hope I'm doing this right, is Tet Vav, which is 9 and 6, which is also related to 33 and the Mars effect, because 17, 17, 17 is 3 and 21. Okay, 3 and 21, 2 and 1, okay, equals to 3. It becomes 33, which is a setup and part of Rubik's Cube. And it's also part of 77 Christ, 77 matter, 77 power, 77 Christ. Now we went from 77, okay, and if we go 77, you can also say 27. Now 27 is going to work out to red, and then it's going to work out to 54, which will be the sun, and then 81 is Venus. If I'm going to go to the third 27, I'm going to say 18. And the reason I'm going to say 18 and 18 is Ra. When you say the fourth item, A, B, C equals to 6. When you say the fourth item, D, right, you will now say 10, and you flip it over from one to the other side. When you say 1, 4, 7, 10, 1, 4, 7, 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. And now why do I say to the other side? I'm going to say from red to black. And the reason for that is the game, professional game with odds. They did it there. For what reason? Is where the answer to this equation meets up. Hold on a second. Do I have it in here? No, I have this, right? That's the design, right? That's off the roulette table. And take a quick look. There's like a monkey on my head, right? No Photoshop, old camera. Take a peek inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this, right? And we're going to look up, I think we have it over here. Okay, we have it right here, right? What was I going to do? Okay, it's not working. Just give me a second. I have to see what I was going to do here. Wow, I don't remember what I was going to do. I was going to do something off the roulette wheel. I'm trying to remember what it was. Okay, I'm trying to remember what it was. Just give me 1 second. It's really bothering me now. It's bugging me. What I was going to do. Well, what we're going to do is this. When you go to D, it's A, B, C, and then it becomes A, B, C, D. After that, what you're going to do is inside, you don't have D alone. You have A twice, B twice, C twice, not D. So you're going to skip A and go B, C, D. And that's going to equal to 9, 9I, right? The French exchange 77 and 33. And they also don't only do it there, but they also do it. Whoop, I just lost my pen. They also do it over here. As you can see, the opposite side of the 3 and the 7, the 1 and the 9, the 4 and the 6, and the 2 and the 8, they're all 10s. All the corners are 10s. So I went A, B, C, so I went one row. When I go D, A, B, C, D, when I connect 3 and 4 over here, this creates a 7. My cube show me they're reverse of each other. Look at that. They're reverse of each other. 3 and 4, Earth and Mars. The 13th and the 14th letter separate the alphabet. The 23rd and the 24th letter are the reverse of both 3 and 4. The 33rd and the 34th are the third dimension of numbers. Are the fourth dimension of numbers of 4 and 6. 4, 13, 22, 31. 6, 15, 24, 33. These numbers will then equal to 70 and 78. 148. Remember that for another time. So where were we with this? Yes, so we end up with this. And you know what's funny is they also do, right? Whoop. And that is 9 and 7. And then they do Vav Zion, which is 10 and 7. So they have 15, 16, and then 17. Into Mars, using 77, using 9 and 10, right? In French, they say this word as 10-7. They say 18 as 10-8. They say 19, okay, as 10-9. Well, these two come from a different world. 1991, okay, although 99 equals Jew, pi, and then this is a word to say earth, electronic earth. Pi is divided. In pi, things get divided. This is a French word. Inside of this word is not only ER, but there's also ET. There's also IT. IT is 29, and that'll fit in with Jesus. Although Jesus is 74 and the beast is 47, which will create 28 and 11. 28 minus 11 equals 17Q. So we can see the beast now got connected to 17. To where 20 and 11 equals to 39. And that's for the word. Look at that. We're going to use the word 10 angel. Also of Saturn. And this is going to be all in rotation, right, of the moon. All in rotation of the moon. So what happened? Why is this? What happens? What happens is 5 times 2 equals to 10. 5 plus 2 equals to 0, 7, 17. Earth is number 52. When you cut something in half, you multiply it by 5. When you build it up, you multiply it by 2. The difference between 2 and 5 is 1.5, the numeric value for the quarter houses of Mars, because the difference between 2 and 5 is 3, and the center is 3.5. Electric company. I like to look at it that way, and we're going to call that Venus. You ever think of why 5 is for Venus? The 5 in Roman numerals is for Venus, the 22nd letter in life. Ape is the ring that we wear when we get married on the 4th finger, when we give birth and have it on the 4th finger, the 9th finger from the 2nd side, from the right to the left. Why do we put things on the left hand? Do left-handed people wear right-handed marriage rings, and do right-handed people wear left-handed marriage rings? How does that work? The word of marriage. What about the word Mars? What about the word marine? Maroon. When you talk maroon, you now talk the 7 and 15 ball. In the game of pool, both maroon, 1 and 5 equals to 6. 1 times 5 equals to 5. 5, 6, F equaling 11. Select 7 and 11, the quarter houses of creation in Mars. I'm just going to get my little hot coffee in here. I'm going to see that we didn't get lost too much. I'm going to explain to you the French, what the French do with their numbers. And I think I put somewhere in my comments that there's really only 29 numbers up to 99. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is repeated. But what's not repeated is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Sorry, 14, 4 is repeated. Only the teen is also repeated. 3 is a third for 13. 12 is a whole word. It doesn't say 2. When we get to 16, 17, 18, 19, we're saying all of the words. But in 18, the add-on is different. We do not add on anything other than EEN. 5, 5, and 14. The T is already connected in the word 8. The 8 happens to be all around the one area of the center. And all around the center, I see these four dots. I'm going to just show you one thing before I warm up my coffee or my hot water. You see this? Look at these area spaces. So we have this over here in the center, and we have these 4 dots, right? But in all of this, we have 9 area, and we have 4 dot. Now, if I only, okay, right? But that's not true, because if I did this on paper, what about all the areas that outline over here? So in reality, we actually have 4 and 1 area. And when we use this complete, let me do this whole thing complete. Whoop, that was wrong. That was completely wrong. What we actually get is we get 9 area and 16 dots. This says pi AD. So that's your pi coming from your divided worlds. Like I said before, your ABC, your ABCD, your BCD, we have to continue on, right? And we're going to have to go to where CDE. And then if we did CDE, what about ABCDE? This is where Earth comes in the E world. It totals 15. It shows me 15 balls. When you add up 1 to 15, it equals to 120. The balls are separated as 717 in the game of pool. When you add up all the balls together, 1 through 16, the sweet 16, 16 hours, 90 minutes an hour, 1,440 minutes in a day. Everything should have ended right here, but it went on to 24 hours. If you add 1 through 16, it equals to 136. If you add 1 through 21, it equals to 231. The reason I did that is there's 21 dots on this cube. I'm going to get myself something in the kitchen. Give me a minute. I hope I can keep up. I hope you can keep up. We're going to speak about 17, 18, 19, about this and this, the ATM, the letters on your telephone. I can tell you where they match up. Why? I can't tell you why they're there. It's not my decision. This is where the analytics come in, and we can work this out together, right? That's what I like about Gigi. He remembers just about everything, where some people say it's an Irish kite. It has no meaning. It absolutely does have a meaning. And sometimes when the water's flowing in the pipe, imagine that's your voice and you have to say something. You can't be interrupted. It's not that you want to be rude. You can't get interrupted in the stream because we're not always fully connected. Be back in a second. Yeah, so if you want to take a look up at the roof, we're going to take about a minute or so right here. If you want to take a look at, well, not me, of course. I want to take a look at anything upside down. My cat is sitting in My cat is sitting in the middle. Okay, give me a minute. Yeah, okay. Just need to get rid of this. Let me see. Anybody say anything to me here? One currently watching, that would be me. And then one currently watching now would be me. Okay. So I'm watching myself. It looks like we're all three. Oh, Tammy. Cat's not on the ceiling. Your cat or my cat? So we did this little piece over here where I was showing you this cube. I was showing you the dots over here, the dots over here, right? Now, can we actually make these bets in roulette? That's my big thing, right? Also, here's the 4 and 1. And your 4 and 1 is broken up like this. AD, right? Connecting both worlds, the AD. You're connecting AD, okay? Got to think about that a little bit. Here we started with A. Here we finished with D. D comes with 5, and A comes with 5. So it's 4, 5, and then on this side it becomes 1, 5. Well, I'm just assuming if we can work this out so it's easy to remember. We have the A, we have the D, and then the BC and the BC come together and connect, and then they splice together over each other. So it's actually 1, 10, 4. So that'd be a total of 15. 9 and 6 equals to 15. And then we run the whole thing at 10. We run the whole thing at 10. So it's 1.5 less. When we played blackjack, we get 1.5 more, or 3 to 2 for the word ram, right? Ram, the Bélier, the month of April. 1st of April, right? Almost like the 1st of April, beginning what month? April 1st, it's fish day. It's poisson. So we're going to go back and talk about 1991. The S is the 19th letter. The H is its reverse. We have a total of 9 over here. Do we have to have a bigger cube in order for S to fit into this? We have 9. So what do we need to do? We need to make a connection. 2 numbers, 10, and then we have to add up 9. 1 and 9. That's my 10 with 2, 3, 4. 1 and 9 with 2, 3, 4. Now here's what happens with 1 and 9. And by the way, that it's A-I-J, saying I have. You can also say I for Ima. Was it I am was mother instead of God was father who divides us? Abba. Abba is also known to be a strike. So when we do this, over here, and we're going to go 1 and 8 equals 9. But before we do that, let's write the word out. We also have to take in count, there's 2 N's. So if we counted only the basic 3 letters, right, it would only equal to 28. It's 28 and 14. This can be noted to be, again, AD, bringing both worlds together, as not only AD, but AM as the 13th letter, as the first letter. 1 plus 3 equals to 4, equals to 10. This one equals to 91. The 91 is the word spirit. I don't have a word for 10, but the word 10 is 39, also equaling to angel. AN, not AM. When you do 1 through 14, that's AN. When you do Z through M, that is 13 to 26. What I'm trying to show you here is I have 1 through 14 numbers and 13 numbers plus the one number that it starts on. 1 through 14, you have 13, and then you have all 14. So you have 14 numbers here and 14 numbers here because you overlapped between the 13th and the 14th, the 14th and the 13th. 27, remember that number, 27. Maybe I should go back and finish the math on the other page before I finish with the 1 and 9. So what happens is 3 times 17, because of the ABC rule, that once you add D, you're over to the other side. So we have to check that, is it true that A, B, C, D, and then you're to the other side? Well, we can see one thing over here. First, I have to start at number 1. Then I go to number 2. Then I go to number 3. It was all 90-degree moves. I cannot go the 4th move because it'll be 180 degrees, completely to the opposite side of 3. None of the other moves were to the opposite side. So the moves were 90 degrees and 180 degrees, or 90-90. Let's call the 90-90 the ring. Let's call the 90 the pole for now, just for now. Although the pole is actually 360, I just want to do this for now. And the reason for this is opposite sides. Remember I said we have to go 180 degrees to get to the opposite side? But what do we have to do this? 1, 2, 3. How many times turning this dice, understanding this? Why I call it the ring and the pole is because around the ring is 14 dots. There's also, there's also 22 void. On the pole, there's 7 dots and there's 11 voids. If you can't follow what that is, I'm going to explain it to you. I hope I didn't lose you with this. It means when you see 9 here and you see 5 here, take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 4 left over. If you put 3, there's 6 left over. If you put 1, there's 8 left over. Every single count of this dice is 9, depending whether it's in the dot or in the void, in the blank space, in the background. It's still an area space, right? Wouldn't you like a big backyard or smaller backyards? Or how about split backyards? Builder's code. Is every dot getting an area of its own, or are there actually only 4 areas here? Each area has 4 in their own. Here is 4 areas right here. These are 4. Here's 4. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to use these 4 and these 4 and these 4 and these 4. Star system. When I use these 4, I'm not using these. When I use these 4, I'm not using these. But if I use the 8, then I'm around 1. 8 around 1, or 4 sections of 4. So when we do this, we're going to have, like it over here, we're going to have 7 and 14 equals to 21 dots. Or we're going to have 11 and 22 equaling to 33 void. That's where your 33 void comes from. So now let's do 9-11. Let's do that 9-11. I'm sure I skipped over something. By the way, we spoke about Mars, right? as cold and blue. Well, I'm going to add something to that. Let's add a puck, 51. Okay, now we're going to add the queen, 62, right? We're going to have to add stick. That's also 62. Yeah, the puck and the stick. The puck and the stick. 113. 11 and 3. 113. The red ball and pull. The 11 and the 3. Now we're going to get to the 9. Number 42, the dividing gate of 6 and 8. 15 or 51. 62. 24. Electric company. 33. Rotation of the sun. Dividing the night and the day. The 15th letter, O. The 24th letter, X. They total 39, possibly for XO. 3 by 13 equals 39. In the deck of cards, we have 4 by 13 equals 39. 4 by 13 equals 52. Three and 4, remember, once you get to the fourth side, you flipped it onto the other side. And I remember why I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you it in a minute. Once you do this, 39 is for angels, 3 by 13. Now, the opposite of this is 31 by 3 equals 93. We get Saturn. 52 is Earth. Here we get angel. But let's not look at Ra, because when you say this without seeing it, you think it's a rat in French. 3 and 1 is 4, so it's actually like 3 by 4 equals to 12. So you've done a reduction all the way down to 12. This one's going to connect to the moon. The 3 by 4, 3 plus 4 is now 7 and 12, equaling to 19. And how do you get the 3 and 4 blue, cold, and Mars? You get there with the ace. The word 1 equals the 34, the ace dot, the blue, the Democrat, Earth and Mars coming together. This is a value of 9. But you also have to understand that where you become bar mitzvah on the 13th year times 13 moons equals 169. 168 plus 1. This 1 dot and 168 around it will create 36 plus 4 areas at the corners. If you had to give it a name and number 31 was the cube, right, I would say go to jail, which by chance is just property or area number 11, where it just so happens that the choo-choo trains are coming to town on 6, 16, 26, and then 36. Every 3, you count these 3, then you count these 3. When you count 4 of them, you're bringing them together. Mars and Earth, matter and energy, right? 52 and 51 can also be looked at as V11 and V1. Let's not look at vegan, right? The total is 103. And if you had to go to initials, it could be JC. Have you ever heard of JC, like for Jesus? Matter and energy. We wanted to look at matter and energy. Matter is 77. Energy is 74, the same as the reverse of this number, bringing it to a perfect 1 whole, is 36. The reverse of this is 33. Now, if we want to bring it to all sequences of the number of 77, it will be 33. This is going to all be based with this. This is A. Let's go B. Let's go C. So 77, this will equal 1 and 1. This one over here is going to be, just give me a second, 66. And this is going to be this. And the last one is going to be either 00 or 99 in order to equal back to 7 and 7. Where do I get this information from? Right about here, right here. And the reason for that is 1, 4, and 7. This times 31, 4 times 30, 1 by 28, cycle 3. In the fourth cycle, it's 29, 30, 31. This cycle ends on 365. This cycle ends on 366. We have 7 months of 31 days. We have 4 months of 30 days and 1 month of 28 days in the cycle of 3 years. We complete the cycle here in what they call the leap year. Here is Jesus, the short number for Jesus, versus 7474, le même numéro, energy. Jesus, 10 plus 5 plus 19 plus 21 plus 19 égale 74. Now, ajoute, add each number. 1, 6 plus 1 is 7 plus 9. We're going to do it here so we're not lost. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 22, 23, 28, 29. Point 54 ou 45. Fox. Where do I get this from? The face of all these numbers, toute la face, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, égale 45. F, c'est la 6e lettre. O, c'est la 15e lettre. X is the 24th letter. When you add them up, it equals to 45. The average, okay, of 9 numbers, the average of 1 through 9 equaling to 45 is 5 times 9. Here are 3 numbers. The average of 666 is 15. There's 36. Fox reverse is ULC or cyle. That is the reverse of fox, right? Maybe like dead end or ass, whichever way you want to look at it. So this will be 3, 21, and 12. This will be 36, but it'll be 33 and 3 equaling to 36. CUL. So this is your fox, and here you had your X and your O. Just like we had the XO in the piece before, we had the XO over here. We had the XO here creating the gateway. You're playing the game of XO. 1 and 5 equals to 6. X, 24, 2 and 4 equals to 6. This is going to create 8 and 6. This is going to create 5 and 6. This one is your reverse 8 and 6. 1 and 1, puis 5, 6, puis 2. And it's not me. Everything has been given to us. We just need these items, the ATM, and we're off to the races. Here we go. So we go 1 and we go 5. All right, we go 1 and 5. We have to have 6 and 2. And when we have 1 and 5, we also have 8 and 4, 12. And we have 6 and 2. When we have 6 and 2, we have 3 and 7 right over here. This is the queen. This is the game. This is the card. The areas that are void over here. 7 and 3. So we're done with that. 2 and 4. So we get 2 here and we have 4 here. If we have 2, il manque 7. 2 plus 7, c'est 9. 4, 4, plus another 5 is 9. 4 and 2, we're missing 5 and 3. We flip it over. 5 and 3. It's no magic trick. This is what they gave to us. 3 and 3 on each side, right? 3 and 3 on each side. And at this one, I have to flip over 180 because it's on the other side, right? 3 and 3 on each side. The 4 and 4. So in rotation of the sun, it becomes the day and the night between the X and the O. Number 69, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 creates your 6 and 9. So if you want to know your yin and yang over your ABC, so you want to know your yin yang over your ABC, ABC 6, BCD vibration, or 4, 3, 2, 9. So it's in your rotation, bringing the birth world into life of 6. We've reduced our life by 1.5 into this image and more. We need over 100 to make anything. You see the word beast, right? We were still going to add up that we had Jesus now. Remember we added up that 29? 5 by 4, 20. 5 plus 4, 9. I call it the IT system. Not unlike the 19, right, which is the AI system, and that runs through the moon system. We have the Phobos. We have the Deimos. And we have Luna. Les deux lunes, these are Mars, phobias and demons. This says one of. So now where were we in all of this piece that we're working together? These are the 3 moons that we work with. This is where 19 comes in. Moon equals to 57. If you have 2 moons, you have 2 57s. If you have 3 moons, you have 3 57s. You have 4 moons, you have 4 57s. In your first moon, you had 114. In your third moon, you have a 171. When you add up 1 through 18, it equals to 171. That's your high. That's your luck in the moon. Male and female, 5G TV. Let's do this again in case. 57, 67, 71, 150 and 21, 171. Look at that. The numbers to Mars in the cube. In fact, 12 and 15, 27 reverse. It's absolutely perfect. U and O come together in this word. So then we add this one up. It becomes 228. Ape, heaven, in the cycle of man, life in the heavens. But we can also add them up another way. And one of the ways to add that up is 57 over 57 equaling to what is 15. Over 57 to going to equal to what is 63. Right? This is where the house of Peut comes in. And then one more 57 is going to equal to 21. We have to do it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. What we did is we added it up to a single digit. And then we end up with your basic creation in the E world in the house of Peut. This one will create 18 and 9 equaling to 27, noted to be Venus, the house of Peut, or if you want to call it 420 to get into Jupiter. The reason for this, okay, 2 sevens is going to make it 14, then it's going to make it 5, the 5th planet. Second thing, okay, house of Bet, B-E-T equals to 27. Third thing, the I and R, okay, both in 1 and 8 equals to 9, 1 centered to 8, 9 altogether is in the center of what's on the outside. It's been boxed in. So 9 is less than what 8 is. Inside the house of Peut, where Venus is number 2, but it's 4 times 2 to create 8, encompassed inside the house connected to Alpha or Mercury. 2, 4, 6, 8, which runs the lines of your 40. 1 and 9, 10, 7 and 3, 10, 4 and 6, 10. 8 and 2, 10. Where we all surround 5, 4 by 5 is 20. And when we start counting that, we count it at T minus 9. When you say T minus 9, you're almost saying this over here. Jesus, energy, power of Christ, mass, rotation of the sun, in the house of Peut, Jupiter. Many connections to Venus coming together over the center Alpha to create Jupiter. Or we can look at it as Neptune. which way are we going to look at this? Because we know the single dot of Mercury is at the heart of Jupiter. It is also that within Jupiter, right, they created the inside area, these 4 areas, because all we need is the 4 outside, telling us now about Neptune, everything that surrounds us, or it could be talking about the bodies of water. And the pitchfork. So we have this, I'm going to take a sip of this. Yeah, that was pretty weird. I went to my email here. I got a couple of emails, so sometimes I'm not really sure which email it would be. Okay, I'm going to my email, all inboxes. Wow, that's very cool. Hey, that looks like you. Big party, very nice. Let's get the lights glowing. I love the, one of my first designs that I ever did was hook rug hook or something. And that's the, I designed this, this anchor. And when you look at the anchor and you think about it, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, you have the O at the bottom. You have the, you can have the 9 because you have the loop. So this tells me maybe the 6 is the 6 because of the loop, and the 9 is the 9 because of the loop. And when I'm looking at the, you can also look at it, the tail of the devil. There's many things to see in this. Okay, let me go down to see this, this. Lucifer, Satan. So now I'm going to have to catch up to where I was. Lucifer, Satan, right. So we have, well, Lucifer, okay, now Lucifer is 333 9659. So a crucifix, right? Crucifix. Let me do this. Now, when I see the end crucif, right? If you say crucif to me, right? The IX is 9 in Roman numerals. So what would the X be actually saying to me? Is it saying I'm half of 8? Because if you flip the F over, it makes an 8. So what is it trying to tell you? And when the C and I come together, that is your Saturn rotation of man on the moon. How do I get that? Saturn number 93. 3 by 31, 93. Man, 13. 3 by 13 creates angels. The numeric value of 13 on its last level equals to 19. 19 extends itself into the moon. So we have to get from somewhere to somewhere, right? If we're alive, and you want to believe we're alive, If you want to believe there's more than life, then everything and every word you speak today, we're inside of a game that remembers everything. So, yeah, so I'm going to do the 9/11 thing now. I'm going to do the 9/11 thing. I just want to read Luna. Oh, yes, Luna, right. That was good. Okay, you put it towards Luna. I like that. We didn't do crucifix yet, right? I'm going to get to that. So crucifix is 393, 396, 96. And Luna or anal, right? And I also want to separate the AN, right? And I'm not sure if it's A through N, but I know that the N and the M, they have to crisscross because the alphabet is perfectly split. There's no one letter, so we have to use two letters, telling me Venus. When it's an even split, we use one letter. Now, if we only counted 24 letters, it's just ironic that Y and Z, right? That Y and Z, that Y and Z, okay, which equals to 25 and 26, equals to 51. So A and B, which begins the alphabet, 1 and 2, equals to 0, 3. So what are we supposed to do with that? Do we start at 3, right? Because when you start at 3, you already got AB, you already matched up to AB. So we just start at 3, right? I mean, the telephone doesn't. The telephone skips A and starts at BC, right? BCD. ABC on number 2. Did you follow what I'm saying? I'm going to try and explain it again. That when you start something, if you're standing alone, you haven't held on to anything. So when you start something, you start A and B. Everything is complete. Now, the first two, when you're going to end, you don't need the first two anymore. So when you get to Y, right, you're going to still count B. But when you get to Z, you'd no longer count A or B. So it's going to be AB all the way to X, and that'll be 300. And that's the same thing we get in bowling, that if we get an ABX in bowling, we have 300, because an abat, ABAT in French, right, means to knock down or knock down a tree or take down a tree, right? Give me a tab. Well, the abat is a strike, and at the end, we have an X representing strike. So here's 300. If you want to look at this as binary code, this is going to be 12, or it's going to equal to the same thing it is right now. When we get to the third one over here in binary code, what I redo now is binary code for me has become just a skeleton. So although it's 1, 2, 4, 8, etc., I can reduce them to a single digit. And if I get a number like this, I can individualize 1, 2, and here's 4. 3 by 4 is 12. It would be 1200. 1 and 2 is 3. 1200 and 300, 1/4. So Luna says false light of Satan, and it just falls in. It just falls in with, let me see where I was on the last page. I don't like to be behind myself. I get mixed up as it is. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So then we're over here where Code came in with Fox, where Fox is 45, where we had our XO. Where was that? Where was that XO? Again, let me not stop. That XO was here, where we had the separation between 6 and 8, where one side it's telling me about this. Here it's separating the gateway 6 and 8. The other thing about that is the odds are 7 to 6. When you play the game of craps, the odds is 7 to 6. It just so happens that Mars is 6 and Earth is 7. That V2 is 7 and V1 is 6, although it's Uranus and the 6th planet Saturn coming together. And when that happens, right, this also becomes female, and this will be male. On its scale of 156, and 169. Just to note, there's 26 cubes, 989. 26, every single cube has 6 sides, equals 156, or 12 by 13 moons. Batzmitzvah at 12. One times 7, 1 plus 7. The number 17 is derived from 52 or 25, and also can be derived from 18, unless you want to move it up a level, right? This one will move out to 10 and 7, and this one will be 17, and this one will be 17 and 01, and this one's going to be 17 and 03. Minus and plus. Minus and plus. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, 2 times 5, 2 plus 5. It just so happens 10 and 7 that the French say 10 for 10, and they use it with 7. They use it for 10-7. They use it for 10-8. And they use it for 10-9. Also means new. So if you want to minus it, instead of it being 17, it'll be 3. Instead of it being 18, it'll be 2. Instead of it being 19, it's 1. It becomes A, B, C from the 19th in the alphabet. And this number is playing off on the other side of numbers. It's 1 through 18, and then it's 19 through 36. So if I had to do this side of the alphabet the same way, or the numbers the same way, you would say that this number is, or maybe this number is on the opposite side. We're starting here. If I have to go to this number here, it's on the other side. There's 18, there's 36 number, 360 degrees. We have 18, and if I want, I'm just going to go 18, 18 and 18, right? Where I got to do it this way, separation of the alphabet or the numbers. Why? Because the numbers are perfect. If you see, there's 2 ways to separate. I'm going to have to box in 18 and 19 coming together to have that separation of 36. If I had to move the alphabet, I would have to put this at M and I'd have to put this at N, equaling to 37. If I put that to 37, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 111, we'd end up having to do this, connecting here and here to 23 and 14. And we'd have a hexagon and a cube running right here in the center of these numbers, 111. Also noted markings as 555. Reason for that is when you add up 1 through 18, it equals 171, showing you that gateway. And when you add up 19 through 36, it equals to 495, equivalent to 18 numbers and 18 numbers. In all, if they all had a single area space, the average would be 37. Where are we with this? So we can understand why male and female, 12, and I didn't do 13, which is 99, right? 186 when they come together. 12 and 13, the Barmitzvah and the Batzmitzvah. 13 is going to get number 7. 12 is going to get number 5. 12 is going to get an E, okay, and a V. And 7 is going to get a G and a T. And when you bring it together, 7 and 5, you get 5 G T V. And you get electric. And you get full rotation. 75 by 77, okay, is 5775. And a crazy thing about this number, right? If you multiply it by 13, it gives you 75,075. I do that for the moons, for the number of moons. What is number 13? Well, do you want to use 13 cycles, or do you want to overlap and tie your shoes up? The first zodiac sign and the last zodiac sign, I have to start with 1 and go 12 to get back to 1, equaling to what is 13, right? Depending how you want to talk about 13. The same thing with 14. If I use A through M, the reverse half alphabet is actually only 14. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm going to warm up my tea. It got cold. Just give me like 30 seconds or 45 seconds to. Just give me 1 minute here. I'm going to finish this in a minute. But how do you know something now different than you didn't know 5 minutes ago? Why would you care? Somebody asked me the other day, oh, you don't believe in any religion, you're an atheist. And the response that was given was, atheist, theorist. What is the truth? When you know the truth, that is what I adhere by. Now, how are these numbers going to tell me the truth? When you know the system was built, when you understand where your God is. If every religion has a God, understand where that God is. And can you use it for God as an alpha omega, and in God, GAD 714? We run a cycle of 147. When we double that up, 1 and 1 is 2. Everything moves back into order. Fall in line. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 and 1 is 3. 4 ones is 4. 5 ones, 6 ones, 7 ones, 8 ones, 9 ones. Now 4. 4 and 4 is 8. And 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3, bringing together 1 and 2. And 4 is 16, bringing together 1 and 6, 7. Okay, 1 and 6 equals to 7. Now we're changing all the numbers around. Do you want to see what it looks like? I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we're going to do 2, right? We're going to do, let me see what we're going to do over here. No, we have to do 4. Sorry. I just put 1 and 7 together to look like 4. So we do 4, and then we do, we have another 4, we get 8. We get another 4, we get 12. We get another 4, we get 16. And another 4, we get 20. Then 24. Then 28. Then 32. And then 36. The next one is 40. So we went a repetition of 10 before the single digit replaced itself. At the same time, it'll be 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, and 9. So what we did now is we have 15 here, we have 6 here, we have 15 here, we have 15 here, we have 15 here, we have 12 here, 15 here, and 18 over here. So if we had to do a star, I would end up with 6 and 15 and 15 equals 36. Now, if I had to choose this star, right? This star here, that's also a 15. And that would be 51. So Mars is also 51. But what when I don't use this line over here and I use these lines? Let's say my star is, and I only use 3 of them, right? I'm only going to use 3 of them. And this one here is 15. And this one here is 15, right? And this one here is 15. So now I'm going to equal to 45. So now I got Fox and I have Mars with 2 different stars, and I have 96, which is a rotation of 33. It's the story. Is it the coincidence? 54 and 15. These were going to take me in 2 different directions and end up at the end of 29, which is Jesus, like we did in a previous piece. I think it was Jesus equals to 29 when you add up each one individually. Beast equals to 12, 13, 18, 19, 20. Beast is going to be 20, okay? And Jesus is going to be 29. The difference between the two is this will end up as 2. This one will end up as K. 9 and 2 is 11. Also, the R ends up together, the 18th and the 11th letter through mathematics, 2 times 9, 2 plus 9. Pluto is king. Pluto is king. Just ironic the way they're different. So now when I add up their differences, this will be 67 and this will be 103. And what's ironic about 103 is that Earth and Mars, okay, or king, dividing the gate. Again, male divides the gate. And queen. Wrong one. And queen. And it's ironic that this equals to 21. Seems like we're running by the cube. Remember Rubik's Cube? 3 periods in hockey, 3 levels, right? Center level, center of the period is the cube that's turning. You have 2 complete periods, right? You need a whole period, then you go through the second period, and the halfway point is where the spindle is, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And this is 103. If you have Mercury, okay, Mercury is 103. If you have September, you have 103. And at the same time, you can have JC, if you want Jesus Christ, together, is not 103, but the 2 names total 151. Electric Company, EC, which is V111. I like to look at that way, and I'm going to call Neptune the Electric Company. Just by the way, 19 and 19 both fit into the moon. PTU, 41 and 16, 57 numeric value for the moon for a number that goes into the moon. And what do we do at number 19? Well, we're going to go to number 19 right now. We're not going to hold on anymore. We're going to finish this in a minute since I'm there. And we're going to finish. We're going to go and show you number 19. Now 1991 comes together. And not to forget that we were on Spirit 91, where 13 times 7 equals to 91. We did that on a prior page. 1 and 3 is 4 and 3. Cycle of the cube, times 4 times 3. 84 is your Pluto. Ring, pull, 48. Sun, buy and sell, 48. One's buying, one's selling. They reverse perfectly. They create day and night. Division of the 7th gate of Jesus and the Son. I'm going to explain this to you. So let's do the 9/11 over here. And there's many 9/11s. Remember, our number setup of 1, 2, 3 is not in order because here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Every time you shift your numbers, they're always going to work out. It's called the perfect shift. It was all taught to us on our dice cubes and in our games. So what happens is here is 1 and here is 8 and that's 9. Here is 2 and here is 7 and that's 9. I have to see if I follow the guide properly. 2 and 7 and that's the guide, right? So just 1 second. Okay, yeah, so we followed a guide. So then the next guide is 3 and 6 is 9, so I have to do that. and then 4 and 5 is 9, and I'll do that. So out of that, okay, I ended up with, so what about the empty spot here? The dot is the 9. So now what about 11? Well, let's take this a little bit further and see what we can find out about number 11. And by the way, the numeric value of 11 is 63, which is created by 49 and 14 coming together. You brought together the ring in this into the house of Bait, 99, 27. 3 by 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9 equaling to 27. Each one of these will equal to what is this over here, 9 and 9, two different entities. So we have over here 9, 9, and 9 equaling to 27. Then over here with 9 left over, right? Did I get that right? 9, 9, 9, 9. 27 and 9 equals to 36 with 9 left over. In this one over here, we're going to do 11. 2 and 9 equals to 11. Let me follow the guide. 2 and 9 equals to 11. Right? So we got 2 and 9. We got 11. Then we're going to go 3 and 8, monkey. Right? Just inside of Jesus. And that's 11. We got 5 and 6, 6 and 5s. The 3 horse blow in the wind. That's over here, 5 and 6. Now we got 4 and 7, Jesus and the beast. And we have the dot over here. So we have the dot below and the dot above. The dot above is A. And the dot below is I. Is that our digital dots for what AI is? So now we have AI. We have two different worlds. In this world, we have 11 times 4 equals to 44, but it was 33 and 11. Have to add that separately. And then you had what was missing on the 11 was 1. This one, it was 9. So when you multiply all these, you have all your 11s. Should I add the 1 in at the end, just at the end to 45, or should I add that number at all? Right? Number 1 was missing, but it didn't multiply any time. So does that make me go to 45 or 48? What should I do with that at the end? I have all these numbers over here, right, connected together. 11, 11, 11, 11, and 1. What should I do with that? Well, I only added them together. So I'd add that to 45, and that would be 45. But it'd be 44 and 1, and this would be 36 and 9. So this is how your 19 comes together. And like I said, 19 is the other side of 18. So it's like I said, it's 1 through 19, and then it's like 18 through 36. This one is going to equal to 190. Okay. And this one I have a little bit more trouble adding it up. This one would equal to 495, 496. Just 1 second, 496. I might have made a mistake in that last thing. This is 190 and 476. Okay. And that means this one is 494 if I got that right. This actually says God, which is funny because earlier on today, right, at 11:14, where the letter K, N, C, I like to say maybe nickel, because at 11:14, which is 674 minutes, says God. And 7 and 4 says Jesus. 74 is energy. 67 can be between Earth and Mars, Zion and Israel, the blue house, because it creates the word cold, which also creates number 1, right? So it's showing me number 1. It's not showing me 0, but 0 is the operator and it has the same number. So we run down and we get the same numbers. Then I get 764, which is 12 hours and 44 minutes over here. Again, dividing night and day, dividing the house of DC. dividing the night into the day. And then I get 584. This is where Pluto comes in. This is the E world, right? And 9 hours is 500. 9 hours times 6 is 540. And 44 minutes, 944 Porsche comes in at this time, 584 minutes. 58, what 84, what all the numbers mean, what they match up to mean. So let me get back into the kitchen for a second, my hot water. I'm going to be back in a minute. Some say, where is the creator? Where is the master? How many people on this planet have ever asked that? And whatever number you get will be the number of that truth. We are fighting only for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The legion that we are running to or towards, what we are looking for, looking back at, balancing, finding the analytics, finding the analogy from the analytics, is what is the truth. He said, she said, they all said. But if you would actually know where the creator is right now, I want to know deep down inside of you, do you want to know where the creator is? Do you want to know who made this place? What will make you put down and say, I'm going to meet the beast when the day ends? And when you wake up, it is every day until the day ends, when you do not wake up. And on that day is the only day you shall know, that you shall believe and you shall see with your own eyes or not. What is, and why didn't I change it before I left? I pay the tax, you collect the tax. You stop collecting the tax, I stop paying the tax. What are the consequences? Because we don't actually know the truth and the consequences, because everything seems to be under lock and key. We keep paying the tax because only of what we've seen. We've only seen, but we do not know. They're coming to your door. They're knocking on your door. But you only believe because of what others say, and this is what's happening because that's what you believe. God and governance, the same 3764. 764. 17. The true high value is 26. The back value to God is 55. Sky pass. Gates of the divided. G-O-D. The family is in the 7 family. The 7 family base value is 70. The 6 family base value is this one is 82. The base value for this family over here, okay, is 70. The total value of the 3 is 150, 220, 232. That is its base value. When you add up 7, 16, 25, 34. When you add up 6, 15, 24, 33. When you add up 4, 13, 22, 31, 148, 149, 150. Sorry, somehow it's like that. 15, 22, 230. 23, House of BC, 11. This equals to 17. At the same time, okay, it equals to 26. This is the letter Z. This is the letter H. You go over to the ATM. I'm coming back in a minute. You go to the ATM. You look at number 1. You have Q. Sorry, this is Q. Well, I don't know what I was doing. This is Q. Q17 equals 1 plus 7 equals to 8. 1 times 7 equals to 7. 7 plus 8 equals to 15. O. Z 26. 2 times 6. 2 times 6 equals to 12. 2 plus 6 equals to 0, 8. 8 plus 12 equals to 20. T. So you have T, Z, Q, O coming together in this word. But you have, whoop, wow, I'm writing and my thing is in order. So sorry about that. God, 26 letter is Z. Dog, card, game. The reverse of God, each letter has a 27 value. Times 3 is 81 minus 26 equals 55. This is sky pass. Although you have your freedom at 65, they were screaming out freedom 55. The word freedom is 66 when they're calling out freedom 55. And guess what? It's a sky pass, and the word cloud is also 55. So when you have 55, that means the passage is between F and E, like in female. 11 and 30 equaling to 41 and 19 through the moon of AD, connecting ABC with BCD through ABCD connection, where A and D are on the outside of BC. BC equaling to what is the E world, bringing both BC and BC together, E and E. Can we say J? I don't know what we're going to say J yet. Through E, we get 1 and 4 and 2 and 3. And there's also a switch in this in games. And the game is right over here. Right down over here where you see the cube. Well, this X, okay, over here. This X over here, okay. That is, if I do it correctly, because it might be upside down. Actually, let's do it over here, right? This area over here, okay, it has to stop right over here on this line, right? But in order to get to this one here, it has to either run through here or up through here. This is the lower side. This is the upper side. This is 111. Each one of these 111, and it comes in where the cube comes in. This is a game. Everybody, a lot of people have seen this game. If you ever heard of a casino, they have the game of roulette. Well, this is what happens to the game of roulette. See this, the dots? These are the numbers, the 3 little aliens, right? Then we have to understand what I was talking about, number 66, right? Not to talk about where 51 and 84 come together, 17 and 28 for Mars, 17 and 28, Mars and Pluto come together here. And the cube within the star. I think we were over here, right? That's where we were. So, yes, and earlier on, I wanted to show you another thing about number 19, number one. Number one is now black. First one, second one, third one, boom, it changes over. Next two, boom, it changes over. Next two, boom, it changes over. 10, 10, 10. Number one changes, it flips back and forth. So that's why when I said A, B, C, D, right? When you get to D, it flips over, and every next one, it turns over to the other side. So anyways, you get two sides coming over here. I like to say the A, B, C, D, E for the Earth. This equals to 15. I like to call it the E world, but in reality, we can only say this. From the first ABC to the BCD to where we come in over here. And this one is going to equal to 12. So the basketball will fit in here. See that three-parter over here, right? The C and D split everything up. The D and E come together, representation of 4, 5 into the sun. 3, 4, and 4, 5, 7, and 9. 7 and 9, right? Now, when you go to that ATM, on the 7, you used to have a Q. They took away number 8, 17. And on the 9, you had a Z. They're both gone. They're on number 1, 88. 88 DC. That's what happened. Now we're going to get our 48 in our basketball here to our 60 in our quarter sports. Why are these quarter sports? Why is this different than this? If we don't go more than 3 parts for 36 and then 12, or are we going to do this? To where we're going to 15, 15, 15, right? That equals to my 45. Here I'm getting to 48, right? But how do I equal to 45 with more numbers? How can I do this? How can I get, 60 minutes. I need to get to 60 minutes, right? So I have 4 by this, or do I do this? But this was 4, and this was 3, this is 4, this is 3. So I can intercept with quarter sports and then hockey. And this is another one that will work with hockey because it's 3, and we have 3 periods. And the opposite side of Rubik's Cube is 3. Not talking about here and here where it's 4 areas to where it's 1 area here. So we have a set here for the ring is 1 area, and here we have an area. But this area is of 4. This area here is of 2, 2 and 4 at the gateway. Let's see where I'm not. When we're moving around numbers, should I bring this up? There's 22 comments. Let me get into the comments and so Luna, so 3 letters and then 1 letter. Annul means to cancel in French. The Luna is 33, wow, 47. So it shows time with lune. They have lune and lundi, meaning Monday, but it's the second day of a 7-day week, but it is the first day of a 5-day week. Remember that. Remember that. It is the second day of a 7-day week versus the first day of the 5-day week. And Saturday and Sunday would be the first day of the weekend, of a 2-day weekend, in which the weekend 1 and 1 connect to different sides. So you're actually looking to 1 and 1 is being on 2 different sides, where Saturday is on one side and Sunday is on the other side, in which actually what you're looking at is number 7 and 8. You're looking at your gateway. Once you get back to Sunday again, it's the 8th day after the 7th day, although it's the first day because you're starting the week over again, just like the zodiac signs. You have 12 signs, but to start over again, the 13th sign is the first sign starting over again, saying I already went 1 repetition. And then at 25 is 2 repetitions. So let me get back to what I was talking about. Once you know the truth, once you see what we can put together this program, and everybody gets the program, what I'm doing right now, everybody gets the program. I'd like to be up a little bit higher. I don't want to say I can't do this alone, but I can't. I never could. And only when we stand together and see the truth can we just, anything, we can just stop. The reality is, if you woke up tomorrow and had no food and you were the only one on this planet, but you had some seeds and you had the knowledge, you would plant the seeds. And you didn't want to be alone. You were with somebody else. And you had the control to make another child. And you run under the laws of truth. Eventually, where did the money come in? We're growing our own gardens on the land. Where did the money come in? What does it mean when you're short of something that has no tangible value other than the exchange of something tangible? So therefore, it has no value other than saying, you owe me something of something tangible because I gave you more than what you gave me. But it's really something that will not, you can't plant it in the ground. It doesn't matter how much you have in the bank, because if there's no food growing, if the flowers and the plants and the trees are not pushing, there's no air to breathe. So there is no such thing of a debt other than something made to believe, other than something you created for yourself that you didn't need because of some other force that somebody couldn't do something, that where everything comes from are these two hands, those 2 feet, and a directive that we work together. That's it. When you understand all of that, you will see there was no debt. There never was any debt. In reality, and the truth about every country coming together, other than the people having the personal debt, there is no debt, other than promises somebody else made with a note that had no value. The shop was sold out. We are the final frontier. On day 7, but on day 8, when is the rest over? Is when the rest of us get together to become one again. But I'm not allowed to do this and I'm not allowed to do that. Think about it really and truthfully. You're not allowed to do this, and I shouldn't eat this and I shouldn't eat that. No, you should just understand what you're doing. You're eating for the health of your body. You need to recognize everything you eat. Do not separate one item from another. It's all the same. And we don't know we should prey on the animals that we eat. We've been eating it for centuries. Would you not think that the good Lord only mixed us up, but the animal knew when it was time to go? It was going and it was gone. It was somewhere else before you even struck it down. Imagine if you absolutely knew that. But it would only happen and hurt you that if you pay no attention and have any sensitivity. Because then who are we? No more than animal if we can't use our sensitive. Because our sensitivity should be amongst each other, where we need to care. Even when we cheat and lie, we still need to be able to not take away from another other than take away from yourself, which is trust. And when you can't trust somebody, the truth is not believed. So yes, I wanted to show number 66. And number 66 is, if you want, we're going to show you 66. You see where 5 and 5 is here and 5 and 5 is over here, right? Well, I'm going to replace it with one single item, right? This is your left side, and this is the other side, right? Here there are 2 of them, here and here, and here there's only 1. Well, 66 goes here, right? You see over here, when you had 5 and 5, see the 5 is opposite of 9 over here, right? And then anyways, so what happens over here is 6 goes up here and 6 goes here, and 66 connects 5, 7, and 9. And between 7 and 9 is connected with 8. So you have 686 connected with 7 and 9. And remember, the 7 and 9 had 2 letters changed. They needed to bring together the gateway with the birth in the house right over here. And they have 2 separate different houses. Over here is where I like to call it the moon sets in. Number 13, right? Well, this is N. This is M. So here is O. So you have MNOO. We don't have the L, but it came back in Luna. And Luna, right, is in 33. And then over here, right, 5 and 9. This is the EIEIO, 5 and 9 reverse on the cube. It's also 8 E and I, where 2, 3, and 4 is replaced by 6, 7, and 8. So 2, 3, and 4 is replaced by 6, 7, and 8. And we replace it, and one of the things we get out of replacing it, right? Here's 2, 3, and 4, and it's replaced with 6, 7, and 8. Because we have the 2 and 8 coming together, the 3 and 7, and the 4 and 6 coming together. That's your 30, right? But if we made the star 30, right? Well, just give me a second. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that makes your 30. And we're not going to use the 5. And which one did we not use? We did not use the 1 and the 9 separate. So we create this star over here. Here will be the 2, 8. Here will be the 3, 7. Here will be the 4, 6. Now, if I created this star, right? Oh, I just did the same star. Funny me. If I created this star, I'm going to connect the 1 and 9 together. I don't want to put the plus sign. I'm going to put the 1 and 9 together here. Right? I'm going to put the 4 and 6 together here. And I'm going to put the 3 and 7 together here. So the king of this first house is 1 and 9. That's where my AI set up. The king of this house over here is 2 and 8. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that and then do this. And then what we're going to have is 2 and 8, 1 and 9, 3 and 7. And the house that's not in here is 4 and 6, right? Inside of this one, 4 and 6. So now we can do that one more time, right? So we can do this, and then we're going to do this. So we have 1 and 9. Well, I'm just going to do 1 and 9. Okay, I'll do it that way. We're going to have 4 and 6, and then we're going to have 2 and 8. And in this house, 3 and 7 were not included. So each house had a different star. The total here is 120. When I add up 1 to 15, it equals to 120. This is the game of pool. Just to note, the M and E, okay, Mars and Earth, if you want to look at it that way, or the 13 and the 5 ball coming together. Or if you want, you can say ace, sun. It also divides the 26 letters of the alphabet between M and N. And since we cannot begin, okay, with only A, but we must begin with AB, we must end with LM and begin with NO. The numeric value for the sun. Now, the thing is about the complete star, okay, of 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6 is the 40 star. So we walk the desert. How do you spell desert? Right? But in each one of these stars, they're all 30. So I have 120 and 40 is 160. And then there's the whole math that goes along with this. Although they're all 10s, this is 16, 21, 24. This one is, I'm just trying to look, right. This one is 9. Just trying to see, did I mark that? Did I mark that wrong? This is 9, 24, 21. And this one is 9, 16, 21. And this one is 9, 24, 16. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add 30, right? So it's going to be 49 plus 30 equals 79. And this one's going to be 37, 46 plus 30 equals 76. And then this one's going to be 45, 54 plus 30 equals 84. This one's going to come with Pluto. And then this one over here is 24, 45, 55, 61, and 30, 91, the spirit. What am I doing? 2 times 8, 2 plus 8 is 16 and 10. 3 times 7, 21, 3 plus 7, 10. 4 and 6, 10. 4 times 6, 24. I do that for that, and I get that numbers. It's called star math. The fourth number will take it to the other side. You want to go to the other side and see what it looks like? Looks like that. That's the other side. Pick a number. Okay, so you pick a number, any number, right? You want to pick the number 4? Here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you want to change the numbers around, okay, and I'm not sure if we finished off where we were with this over here, understanding this system, how we move 2, 3, 4 from 6, 7, and 8, equaling to 10, 10, 10. And when you equal to 10, 10, 10, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. We're going to end up with 1, 1, 1. Noting also that the ace in blackjack can be used as 11, and the ace can be used as the 14th card in the deck, K and N. To note that 1114, right, is 7. I think it was 764 minutes. I think it says God. 1114, 674 minutes, K and N, right? Creation of the angels. So we have that little star system. So when we bring this star system out, we can also bring this star system out and replace each one of these numbers with these numbers. And then we can also alternate them. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 and 6 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 3 and 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So all of them are just the next section, right? And there's also the move forward. What I do in the move forward is I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I'll forget about this line and put it here. And I'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. And then I'll forget about this line and go 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. And you do series of 3, then 1. And then by the time you finish all your series, you get the 36 numbers. Everything repeats at number 37 again. And 1 through 36 averages 37. 18.5 between S and R. Also to note that an alphabet shift to 36 will be 6A and 31Z. 6 and 4, 6 and 3, 4. So let me see where I was going to get with these numbers. Just give me a second. There's a few comments, so we're going to get into that. Like 14 of them, I think. Well, we are actually been made to be this way. We weren't made to be that machine. If you have more of one thing, you have less than another. We were made to be sensitive. We were made to be hurt. We weren't made to be machines, but we already are machines. Our mental capacity connect up to the spirit matrix, just like hot wiring, just like the Wi-Fi works right now. Interfere with our Wi-Fi, and then again, you'll say, well, if you always have good communication, you always sleep well, even where there's no communication. How are we always in communication? Well, breathe. Lung, lung and heart. 33 and 21. Lung and Heart Association. L12, U21, 33, N14, G7, 21. In rotation of the cube inside the sun on planet Earth, divided by the gateways of 76, the spirit of 76. The truth is the truth. Lung and heart association. 103, Jesus Christ, energy, power, matter. How much deeper does it get? $412, you're going to get to the purple ball and pool, which is 4 and 3, which is the E world. See, 12 reverts into 5. So now we're in the sun, the IT system of the sun. We're in the energy of the time of Christ. We're in the time before the Christ. This person or this energy has not arrived yet. And I believe the only time this energy can arrive is when all the hate moves away, when we see all the lies. Once you see all the lies, deep inside of you will be the truth, and that will be the awakening. And you cannot stop it because it's in the air you breathe. For everything you think, even if you keep it inside, the minute you breathe, you must resist with inside yourself and still go on humbly. $2021 is also an exchange for Mars and the spirit, because it totals 107 and 107, right? So 20 represents JG. JG is inside 20 because it's 107. It's Earth that creates 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, creating that number. Just to note that the CB code, right, of 10-4, okay, and that's another thing to understand, that the CB code of 10-4, communication, or the alphabet A through M, right, A through M, but this is saying 10, only start at 10. If you start at 10, does that mean the addition of 10 of A, B, C, D? So start on D, like start on the DJ. 1 and 4 is the first half of the alphabet. 10-4 is communication. April 1st is the 91st day. They call it the day of the Poisson. It is in Bélier. If I remember correctly, it is a ram. Ram is number 32, connected to marriage, connected to marine, also connected to the pig, which is number 32. It's also what it creates 11, 6 and 5, F inside a woman, and also 5 times 6 equals 30, creation of the home day. 11 and 30 equals to 41. Now, if you're the home team and you play baseball, the game will end if you are leading with 27 and 24 outs. But if the home team with a win, but with a loss in regulation time, there'll be 27 and 27 outs if the home team loses. One will be Mars, the other will be the sun, but it will be a love loss. And it'll be a love loss because love is one of the very particular words where the word itself repeats itself inside the letters. The L in love is the reverse of O, and the V in love is the reverse of E, where it creates 3, 6, 4, and 5. 3, 6, 4, and 5 are the only numbers, okay, are the only numbers, and includes 3 and 6, 9, 4 and 5, 9. 3, 6, 4, 5, and it'll create 7, 11, creating the cube, and 99, Jupiter 13, 36, the house of Bait, I and R coming together, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, right? 270 degrees, or 90, 90, 90. Understanding Rubik's Cube is only 3 opposite sides. So now we're going to connect to the game of hockey. 3 periods of 20 minutes, 3 by 90, 27, BET, house of 8. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 18 and 9. 99 is Jupiter, 99 is 13. In the word 13, you have both T and H and I and R, 28 and 27. So you have 84 for Pluto, okay, and you have 81 for Venus coming together. Pluto and Venus, 39 coming together. And remember, 93 is Saturn, R-A-H for Saturn, because in Saturn, and as it is as a sun, because S-U-N or A-C-E, the primaries on this cube, the E, the A, and the C, the only ones with the dot in the center holding the alpha dot. The 9 times 9 equaling to 81 as well, and 18 coming from 13, time heaven, in creation through the house of Bait, connecting the two worlds together through 9 and 9. The next part about 13 is the teen, and that'll be the division between night and day. Teen equals to 44. Also, space equals to 44 as well. When you add up 2 through 9, which is the house of Jesus in gematria, let me call it more of a Pythagorean, right? 29, we're going to go for Jesus, right? The area space, what it is in area space, and it's got to be more space than one space, because S letter is on the other side. It brings AI together. S is also used in plurality. S also looks like a 5, so it's counting for both sides. A, E, and I. Well, how do you bring everything together? Through E, you bring A and I. E-I-E-I-O coming together. Why I say it divides the night and day? Because 4 times 4 equals to 16, and 4 plus 4 equals to 8. When one number is half of the other number, it creates 3 parts. 3 parts refers to and can be referred to as the 3 ways of the movement of Rubik's Cube. It can be referred to as hockey. We have to understand 20-minute periods, and all penalties are 2 minutes or 120 seconds. 120, or adding up 1 to 15, reflecting pool equals to 120, which will also reflect into the reverse understanding of the egg. 1 through 5 equals to 15. 2 through 6 equals to 20. I can't have the 6 if I have the 1, because they're opposite. So I go, right? I go 1 through 5, I go 2 through 6. And when I flip it over, I get that. I get the Mars Queen. I get 68. I get a divided gate between that. This will be the game of darts. This will be the game of pool. The E, these 2 letters, we're going to use that as the E and the F. These 2 letters, they're going to be the O and the U. Or how about O-E-U-F? In French, that says egg. Total is 35, electric company, 3, 11, 35. 1, 2, 8. I don't know what that means right now. I do know that we had another calculation that I wanted to show in here where 1 and 2 came together. I want to see, let me go back. I don't want to do it there. Because when 1 or 2 come together, it's, how can I'm trying to see where 1 and 2 came together somewhere. I'm going to tell you in a minute what it means. Not because when you get this together, right, 1 will not reach 9, and 2, okay, creates 11. It's also 2 areas, or if you want, we can do this a little different. It's either 2 areas must be like this, 2 by 2, and 1 area. Okay, this will be 2 by 2. This will be 1 by 1, and then it'll be 3 by 3. This is going to be like this, and then it's going to be 44. These are the 2 houses, 1 and 3, 2 and 4. 7 times 6, 42. 7 plus 6, 13. The total is 55 and 29, bringing Jesus back to the 2 different styles of houses. This one or this one. This one is for Earth. This one is for Mars. 22 is for ape. 13 is for man on the moon, where 13 reaches the moon through number 19, A and I, A and I. 9, 11, where 11 creates the 9 symbol, and 9 creates the 11 symbol, unless I turn my camera upside down. So let me get back over here and see if everybody's following. I just want to see if I have anything. Oops, somebody said something. I didn't respond. Okay, I'm just looking at Odyssey now. Now, I'm not sure if the person is still here. Amy had a, and then there was somebody else removed all their comments. I'm not keeping up with looking at both sides. What's going on right now? Let me just remove this. Hold on a second. All right. Just let me show you this. We don't use all our stars. We don't use all our lines. We don't want to see all the picture. We want to see what comes from all of it. So we break it apart, right? I'm just gonna, let's see if I can. Now, you know what I want to do? I want to see if we can get this one. Here's a new one. Here's what I call shifting of the numbers. Take a look at each line. I'm taking a 1-minute break because of my leg. I'm going to come back. I know there's a couple of more comments. The truth. Hold on a second. Now I got to go over here. And I got to check out my, I'm on Rumble. For those who don't know, I give you a link to my channel, right? I'm on YouTube. Be great if I can bring a few people over to Rumble. Be very nice. It's nice to share. I think that's the link. Not really sure. Then we got the Odyssey. I'm on Odyssey. I'm not sure if it's in time or 15 seconds behind. All right, so let me see. I'm here, and then I'm here, right? No one has said anything over here, so that's good. It seems to be 3 streaming now. Nobody puts up their finger, but who knows where anybody is from. We know that everything we say can be heard, and it's heard with every breath we take. I have to take a 1-minute break. So look at the multipliers, and then go down to the bottom, right, of each one and see what happens. I need a foot break. I'm just on a little foot break. Just take a look at that. 2-3 minutes there. And I just, and if you can help out the channel, I'll leave you an email. If you want to send me an email, that'd be just stupendous, fantastic, great. Loving it. Raining outside. Okay, so now I'm going to be back in like 1 minute. Ahoy. So, yeah, so let's look at it. Number 1, what I did is I go to the original box, and I should fix this picture and show you what the original box is, right? And what I do is I go 1 times 1, okay, equals 1. 1 times 2, 1 time, right? 2 times 1, 3 times 1, all the way to 9. Then once I get all the answers, the first 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, the second 3 boxes, 4, 5, 6. And then the next box is 7, 8, and 9. Over here, right? Hold on. I think I just put this in the wrong area. Just give me a second. I think I just put this in the wrong area. Oh, no, they showed up here. What about this one? Where did this one show up? Well, I'm not sure what this is, but anyways, there was something else I wanted to put on here. Just give me a second. I did something last week also. I want to find, there's one other piece I want to put on here so I don't lose it. Okay. Just give me a second. Just give me a minute. I'm just looking for something I want to share. I want to share this. Let me get rid of some stuff here. I'm getting rid of, let me see what this is. Oh, that's also going to be good. Take a look at that for a minute. I have to get rid of some stuff. I'm not sure what to get rid of. The wheel, 31, 41. I think I got that wrong. L, 12, 22, and 8, 30, 40, 53. I got that wrong. So you know what? I'm going to remove that one. Delete overlay. And I think I'm going to delete this one. Let me show you this one. All right. So when you bring these numbers together, I didn't want to delete that, but I think I'm going to delete this one here. Interception of the moon. Delete overlay. Then I'm going to go and see if I can pick up a new overlay somewhere. Just give me a minute. I hope I can find it. Well, here's one of them. And hold on a second. Just give me a minute. Oh, yes, here. This is another one. I'm not sure if I ever put this one out here. Just 1 second. I'm going to show you this one. Then I'm going to go look for another one. Whoop, is this it? Okay, and look what happens to the number sequence of 5, right? Just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to, I don't know which one to take off. Okay, I have one more to upload. Just give me a second. I'm going to be back in a second. Okay, I found this one. I don't even know where exactly it is. No, I have to find this. I have to find it. Just give me a second. I can show you the different star system connects, but I don't know if I want to do that. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a picture of this. How am I gonna do that? Maybe I'm just gonna not put it on and just show you this. What you got to do with those numbers I showed you is replace them, but all these numbers. Now I did this already, and you're going to create your 22 star, right? Your 222 star. Every single one of these lines. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse on my screen or not, right? I'm not sure if you can see these three, these three, these three. They all the star equals 222. Star equals 222. So what I wanted to show you here, here's Rhodes Opera Tenet. And if you look at each one of these lines, 73, 64, 55, well, they also switch, right? Rotas turns out to 28, which is the cycle, right? The 28. Don't forget that 9 comes in, and you use the 9 in 19. You use the 9 again at 79, and you use the 9 again at 99. So you need to use the 9 at 79, 99. Okay. And what happens in tenet is it's 19, right? It's 19. So when do you use the 19, right? What happens is the 19 will go enter into the moon, and 28 will enter into Pluto. Together, it equals to 47, which is time. If you want to look, it's also beast. It's also bull, as well as walk. So the 19, now the 28, the reason for that is you multiply it by 3. Multiply it by 3. So we can see now that all three of these, 5 and 5, 10, 1 and 9, 10, 3 and 7, 10, they're on the same energy level. And they also show up in row 1, in row 3, and in row 4, right? But the energy reduction in 73 is 28. The energy reduction of 6 and 4 is 19. They are not in the same realm. 1 and 9 is not, okay? They're different sides of A and I. And 19 is a red 10, where 28 is a black 10, and they're black odd numbers. So they're telling a different rule from each other, but they're in the 1, 3, 5 position, unlike opera, right? Is that opera I got over here? I think how did I calculate something a little bit different? Let me see if I got this right. Okay, that's right. 31 and 5 is 36, 46, 54, 55. That's right. 55 in opera. So tenant is 20, 40, 54. No, tenant is 64. I got this wrong over here. I'm not very happy about that. I'm going to, hold on a second. Let me see if I can fix this. Copy image. Just give me a second. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. It came out horrible. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Something, let me see if I can do it here. Take a screenshot. Okay, let me, I'm trying to do something here. So let me fix this. Okay, copy. Let me go here. Okay, let me go here. Oh my God, I don't know what just happened. Okay, let me just. Okay, hold on. Okay, there. I sort of got it. So I'm gonna fix this up. Just give me a minute. Okay, now I am going to get this out and get that here, and then do this at 55. Let me make it bigger. Okay, and then let me put this here. And then here. Just give me a second. Okay. And Just give me a second. I'm coming back. I'm going to take off this, delete overlay. And now I'm coming back and putting this over here. And then coming back with this. So that's a little bit better. So this is what roulette shows me for this. What was this part over here? This is something I came up with about 19 years ago, about 20 years ago. Just a new way to say things. Also to note that when you look at the G, when it's squarely written, it looks like there's a J inside of it. It also looks like a number 6, right? So 7 looks like 6. Mars and Earth, 7 and 6. AI is for 8 for some reason. But anyways, here's the ATM. The Z is missing from here. What happened to this letter, right? PRS. This is no longer valued, right, at PQRS. This is no longer valued at 70, but valued number 7 for 70. Now it's valued at 53. 7 is now equaling to 8. And 9, which was once 98, now equals to 729. So it's now 9 and 8 instead of 7 and let me see, 23 and 26, 49, 98, right? It was 98. Now it's 24 and 47, 57, 67, 72. So now it's 9. It remains, did it remain 9? Anyways, irrelevant to the fact. I think I'm getting a little bit tired. I just want to put back this. So now what happens if you want to work with number 3? We'll go to number 3, and the rotation will be 369, 369, 369. If we work with number 1, we can clearly see that we have all 9 numbers show up here. So only in the 10th one does it repeat. As with number 3, it does its first rotation on the 4th one and its full rotation on the 6th one. Here it takes all the way to the 10th one. So 4 and 1, 4 and 1. 3 and 6 work on 4. Every other one work on 9. Here it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, reduced to a single letter, where 5, 6, and 7 will say dividing by the sun. 5, 6, and 7, 6, 6, and 6 in the Venus multiplier. In this multiplier, in this one over here, we never say anything but 3, 6, and 9. So if we needed 1 and 2, we can use 1 and 2 equals 3. We can also use 9 and 3 equals 12, 1 and 2 equals 3, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 equals 3. We can also say 5 and 7 equals 12, 1 and 2 equals 3. So all the numbers we don't use, we can use to make up what is 3 in all those combinations. When we use the number 4, we go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. To note that 4 is going to be a number used more for Mars, unless we're counting 4 different additions in the 9th house. 9th house being Earth, 6 sides of 9. So once we get that, we get the numbers 483, 483, 726, 726, 159, 159. The crisscross of this number is 10. The crisscross of this number is 11. The crisscross of this number is 12. The crisscross of this number is 13. So you know, okay, between 12, 369, the female, and 13, 4 and 9, the male, where Mars and the ring finger come together to connect, where 1 and 3 on the moon come together, where Mars and Earth come together to connect, where the spirit matrix, 85, come together to connect. In the house of 5, the 5 multiplier, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to a single digit. The numbers will be 5, 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. And then the next one will be 5 again. And the crisscrossings are 14. Your alphabet splits over here. That'll be the IT system in the sun. The moon's going to be 5712. Here's your 12, but there is no 57 coming together. In your short world, 57 comes together here. In your short world, 57 comes together here, comes together over here. In the 6th world, we only get 6, 3, and 9. But in this world, we get 6, 12, 18, 24. We're the fox. Now remember the 2 cubes where 6 and 8 are reverse of each other, where you're going to have 666 to 888. We have the division between night and day right over here. Where we have 8 versus 6. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 6. So within 6 is that Mars world. Within 8 is our creation. The 3 parts of Rubik's Cube, the 3 by 8, the monkey, the ape, coming together. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. And then the 9th house of results, all in 9s. We went to the 7th house now, where we can see 7 and 14. This is going to be the cube. Everything's going to be related in the cube over here. Remember, 9 and 7 come together. This is where your birth in Mars, your birth in the gateway. Here's your farm coming together, the angels coming together. So now what brings together, what number was that? I wanted to do a number earlier on and I didn't, is that 13 will be 3 and 4 equals to 12 and 7 equals to 19. 19 is 38, okay? And 19 is 57. Or 19 and 19 equals to 218, and 19 equals to 327. Inside the house of bait, we were created, these two, right? 2 and 18. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6. When these two come together, they join each other, and this is your basic creation. If you multiply it, it's within Venus. And it's the gateway. This one is the BC World Gate. Use all 3, use 2 out of 3, set up this, do a mirror if you want, and see what everything, the 1-for-1 exchange inside the house of Venus, through the moon, through man on the moon. 13 is for the male. What else were we going to do in this? I'm not really sure. We were going to switch our numbers around. Okay, everybody get out their pens. We're going to pick number 5, right? We're going to pick number 5. You see number 5 over here? 516273. 516273,849, right? Compared to the primary world we did. 5 and 8 is 13. 6 and 2 is 8. 6 and 6 is 12. 74, 7, 4, 11. 8 and 2, 10. 8 and 6, 14. 9 equals to 9. Just give me 1 second. I heard a buzz. Okay, so we get that over here. So we have that over here. So what we do is we move these numbers. 516. Okay, so 5, 1, 6. And then we get 273. And then we get 3. You see where number 3 is? And then we get 8, 4, and 9. And then we do the star to it. So this new number from the old number, right? 222, 222, 222 is going to equal to 666. So what's going to happen right now is we're going to go 11, 13, and 15, 8, 10, and 12, 14, 7, and 9. So when we build this star up over here, it's going to give us 30. Then over here, we're going to get 39. Then over here, we're going to get 30. And this star equals to 99. 14, 29, 39. 11 and 10 is 21 and 9, 30. 18, 30, we get 99. But the original number of this, okay, is 156, and 90 is 246. This one is 168, 176. This one is 236. And this last one over here is 12,208. So when you bring them together, it's 690. Look at that. I get 69. I get rotation of 69. That's not possible for some reason. Let me check this again. 70, 80, 150, 230, 238, 246.
6, 7, 8, 16, and 1. 888 is 246. So I'll get 700, but that's got to be wrong also. This is 6, 4, and 2 is 6. 9 and 8 is 17. 246 and 246 is 492. 592, 692, 700, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is this 700 and this one only this? Something's wrong somewhere. 9, 9, 19, 29, 30, 14, 10. Did I do this right? 14 and 9, 12, 10, 8, 15, 11, 11, 21, 30. 14, 24, 34, 39, 18, 30. So I get 99 here. I'm supposed to get the same thing here. I'm going to have to take my calculator out. Why am I making this mistake? Did I do something wrong? So 1 second, I have to check this. 74 plus 82 plus 90 equals 246. 62 and 82 and 66 equals 210. Okay. 210. So that's better. 702. Now it works. Telling me the house of Bate, 27. The gate is within Venus, and Jupiter, 91, because they have to equal to 18, and this is 9. 18 is 1 and 8 equals to 9. They all have to come into their formation. I got a few more comments. Let me look this up. Okay, so just 1 second. So that's what we do. We reverse this, and we did it with these numbers. So these numbers are going to talk about coming from the house, okay, of 5. Now, since 5 and 6 seem to be relative to together, the thing about 6 is it's 639, 639, 639. So let's see what that gives us. So 639 coming from here is going to be over here. 78, 78, 78, 66, 66, 66. And this is going to be 90, 90, 90. Now, when I reduce it, it's going to be 15, 15, 15, 12, 12, 12. And then this one over here is going to be 9, 9, 9. So this one equals to 36. This is 27, 36. And this is 36. 108 star or 999 or 927 total. House of Bate. And then this one over here will be 168, 234. Is this 294? Did I get that right? 90 and 60, 150, 220, 234. Did I get that right? 90, 150, 70 and 60, 130, 220, 234. So I get 234, 234, 234. I'm full vibration in the 6th house. So I end up with 12, 9, and 6. I end up with 2, 0, and 1, 702. In the house of Bate, my creation through the cube. The center of this cube is 3.5 times 2. I got my vibration in Mars inside the house of Bate, 2 and 7. The O house of Mars, house of Bate. We can also reduce this to 639. When we reduce that again, it becomes 18, 18, 18, and that will be the sun house. The toilet house. Toi, when you say toi, toilette, it says the sky of summer. It also says, instead of saying toilette, you take the E from the center in the French way of saying it, and you bring it to the back, and it says etoile or étoile, which means the covering
or the star. And then it says the summer star inside the house. Anyways, getting a little tired. I want to thank you for being here. Let me see if somebody is back on. No, there's nobody here. I'm coming back over here, and there's nobody here. Although it seems like it says 7 watching me on Rumble. No one says anything because I'm looking at it right now. So if you want to say something on Rumble, go ahead. We got to make this big. If, like I said before, we within truth and knowing truth all begins in pieces and parts and relative to where the truth lies. Although it's only games, if we believe in the games and we play to the fairness of the game, whether it's football, 3 downs for the NFL, 4 downs for the, 3 downs for the CFL, 4 downs for the NFL, where we have the bigger field, where we have the goalpost in the front, where we have the 6-point play, which is the touchdown, and the extra point, to where we have the 3 days for the field goal. We have the 1-3-6 or ABC. If you want to stand, where would we stand?
We'd stand on our base creation. We'd stand on first and possibly second within our DNA, A and I connected to 2 worlds, but in a cube. All are connected numbers of AI. Where we can't stretch over, here is my stretch over. My stretch over is 77, to where my stretch over is 13 and 13, 9 and 4, 13, to where my 7 is 1 and 6, 7. This is the lowest of each house. This is the highest of each house, is it not? How do we get to the highest and the lowest? Because the 0.5 separation is closest to. It's not that we have 5 and 2, 7, or 1 and 6, 7, to where we have 9 and 4, 13, to where we have 8 and 5, 13. But it all depends. Because if we want a 13, we're going to go 5 and 8, 13, and we got 13 here. Or we're going to go 4 and 9, 13, and we got 13 here, to where we have 7 and 6, 13, to where we have that connected over here. Unless you want to go to the lower house of 13, and you'll have the 1 and 6, 13, or the 3 and 4, 13, but what connects it is the 2 and 5, 13. So 2 and 5 is your connection to where we get this and this. So this is that major thing. And also, when you're doing the Mayan time calculation, it works in 7 and 13 for your 20. This also equals to 91, which is 1 through 13 equals to 91, or 13 cards in the deck, or 1 through 10 equaling to 55. And then we have Jack, Queen, King equaling to 36, to where in the piano you have 36 black keys. But you don't have a black key, right, on B and F on the piano. So we can see how all this interrelates. Now we can take this, turn it into that, and then change its position. And we can change its position with this little board over here. You can pick position number 6. You have 6, 3, 9. We took position number 5, right? So if we connected it like number 5, right? We connected like number 5. Remember how we connected it like number 5? Imagine this was number 5 when we were connecting it. Now, am I going to connect 3 and 4? My position 3 and 4 are right over here. 78 and 62 equals to 140. So if we can do 78 and 62 to connect, right? We can do 74 and 66 to connect. Equals 140. If we can do the high side, and the low side, where 62 and 90 equals 152 connect, to where we have 86 and 66 equals 152 connect. So this will be the Earth-Mars yo-yo-yo connection. So what I just did is I just followed the rules of the cube when I connect. And another thing is, this rule also follows you when you play the game of chess. When you play the game of chess, there's one of the objects that moves 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. Okay, so you saw what I did with that. You can understand. So now the best thing is I'm going to give you my email. Somebody can help this channel out. You know, let's go to an island somewhere and create some kind of program that we can share this with the world, and maybe be able to fix my rear end and everybody else's rear end, because that's where we've been kicked the most. To know that the house of Kaaba, that cube house, is actually telling us more than the truth, because it lies into how you break it down. Let's take off the veil. Let's see each other's smiling face. We have to learn how our vibration was changed, and that we're not actually thinking properly or not understanding logics. So I'm going to say Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Don't hesitate if you want to help out the channel. That'd be fantastic. I'll be back again. I am into my 20th year since 2005. And for those of you who have to sign and write papers, I want to just give you a note of how I think. I already know that 2024 is over. I know that when you start at the beginning, you start at 0. The point of 0 of the beginning is an in-between space or an area space being somewhere, but at the point, it was your point of departure. Therefore, when 2024 years end, they end. When you write 2024, the year is ended, not begun. It is ended. When you hit your 13th birthday, it is over. You have lived 13 years. Therefore, when you write something out and you write 2024, more or less the 27th of May, happy birthday to my sister. That's 27 today, right? 27, 135. Let's call this the day of the sun. Or let's call this, you see, we can't do anything more than 3. So it's 81, right? We're going to call this also communication day. We're going to go 81 and 54, which is Venus and the sun equaling 135. And again, back to the sun again, right? Because, oh my God, look at that. Just turning Rubik's Cube, it fell apart. Just turn it back and forth and back and forth. Half my Rubik's Cube, look what happened to the center. It created an octagon in the center. So I'm going to have to study that and see what that says. So if you've seen that formation before, seen the 4 elements here, taking these three, right? See where this cube is divided in the center. This cube is divided in the center. You can see that there are 5 sides, and the back side is connected to the spindle, connected to the other sides. You do know that the center of this cube, the spindle, is connected to 6 of these cubes. So the center, the spindle, right, the star in the center is connected to 6 cubes. Every cube only has 5 sides. If we regard it as 5 sides, right, and we know that opposite sides are equal to 7 and 7 is 14, it becomes 175, 17.5. But I'm going to just say 6 complete cubes of 6 sides is 36. 6 cubes of 21 is 126, 2160 moon diameter. I'm not going to think anymore. I'm going to peace and love, and thank you for watching. Let's try and get in touch. It'd be nice to be getting in touch with GG33. That would be great. It'd be a great additive
to help him out with, I mean, I don't like to say it, but to help him out doing more letters into words where we can see the truth and bring us back together. Maybe the moon escaped the matrix. 3 moons. Peace and love.